Yeah, really good. It was what we needed. There's a few questions that have been answered. You don't want to be scored against as a coach, but there were questions pretty much for you guys. What do we do when we go behind? Well, they found out the answers tonight. When you go behind, you battle hard and you fight your way back into the game. So, yeah, it was what we needed. I don't think we could go into a semi-final against either New Zealand or Australia without something tough, without some sort of physical battle and some adversity.
What pleased you most tonight?
The grit. We wrote it on one of the boards here on the week that tonight was about grit. We kind of knew it wouldn't be fancy at times, and it wasn't. And that's what pleased me the most, just the girls sticking together, staying connected, and showing plenty of grit. And I feel as though we've won a game in a different way to what we won the first two. So really, really pleased.
Leah, what's it like to play outside Company Whitfield Hill and kicking game this evening?
Oh, it's really good. There was so much space on that left edge, and I think we've got that connection now that I know that when she's going to kick it and she knows that I'm going to be on the end of them kicks. I think it just showed tonight like what we've been practicing, and I think it paid off.
You still have plenty of work to score as well, some good acrobatics out there.
Yeah, definitely. I could see them coming down. I was like, I'm definitely getting under it. I'm going to get under it. I'm going to get under it. And it paid off. Just throw myself on the floor once I caught it. So yeah, it was good.
Jodie, what's happened? What's happened?
I don't know what not happened. It was tough in the middle today, and PNG threw a lot at us. I think this happened about 5 minutes in, to be honest. So I had half an eye for most of the game, but yeah, it was tough and it was really physical. And I think, like Craig said, we dug in really hard across the field. I think the outside backs worked really hard and they finished when they got the opportunities, which is all we can ask for as middles when we're taking a bit of a battering, is just when you get the opportunity to finish it, and the outside backs absolutely did that. We never panicked at any moment. We went behind, it wasn't great, and I'm sure there will be other people panicking, but we didn't on the field. We knew that we would have enough class when it came to it, and I think we did. I think across the board 1-17 were brilliant.
Great. Speaking of physical, Vicky Whitfield, when she came on, nobody more so than that. What an impact.
Yeah, absolutely. Vicky's worked so hard over the years to turn herself into what she is now. She's got great leg speed. Her confidence has gone through the roof in the last few weeks in camp, and it's a simple formula. Once there's a bit of fatigue in the opposition, you bring her on and just let her do her stuff. And the try that she took was absolutely tremendous. It's one thing scoring tries like that in Super League. It's another thing doing it on an international stage against a pack like PNG's. It just shows her class, just like the rest of the girls. It was a sheer class tonight.
Craig, you might be aware that the Cook Islands coach said last week that they were in the group of death and you're in the spa pool.
Yeah.
What did you make of that comment?
Yeah, I think he'd struggle in the spa pool. It looks like a spa pool, but some sharks in there, and Jodie's face is there, and I'm not. On a serious note, I'm not a fan of focusing on other people, because something, when you focus on other people and what they've got in front of them, you come unstuck, and pretty much she's come unstuck.
Craig, are England capable of winning the World Cup?
Yeah, I feel so. Is it going to be easy? No. Are we going to have to be at our brilliant best? Yes, 100%. But I feel as though I've pulled together 24 people that have now evidenced that they can win in different ways. They can tough it out. They can be rotated, because that's important. That you can rotate your squad and the quality doesn't stop. So I feel as though we can. The girls feel as though they can, but we know what a big task it is.
A wonderful support from the fans today, more than 5,000 today, wasn't it?
Yeah, tremendous. We missed some of the school kids tonight. We were talking about school kids and how loud they were from start to finish, but what was the 5,500, something like that, just tremendous. And we appreciate it so much, because to get over the adversity at the start of the game, you do need people behind you, and we implore people to get out for our semi-final, because it's a massive task, and we do need a big crowd behind us. And when I say we, the girls won't disappoint.
Craig, you've spoken about having to find a different way to win tonight. Do you have to find another different way to win, to do the same against either Australia or New Zealand on Monday?
Yeah, depending on which side you play against, it's totally different. The Kiwis will be big and physical, similar tonight, to be fair. The Kiwis just operate at a real quick pace. The transitions, the shapes look great, and they are great. You know, you have to be quick on your feet to defend them, and you just can't switch off for a minute. So, you know, two totally different sides, and depending on who you get, you have to think about the game slightly differently, and you have to have a slightly different approach, and you'll be put through the washing machine either way, but in a different way.
And how did the girls from the York team play a role this week, given that you're going over there and playing on ground that they'll know so well?
Yeah, we talked about that today, and everybody's played again at York. Everybody in the squad has played at York, and you know, they do play a role, but you know, all the girls play a role. It's not a ground that's alien to us. We're in England, so we're comfortable. We're comfortable wherever we play. But everybody, listen, whoever we get, it's about the 17 people. Everybody's got to play a role. Everybody's got to do something to get the crowd behind them.
Craig, was Holly Dodd all right at the end? I think she went off the...
Yeah, she's fine. It was just a bit of precaution, really, more than anything.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, she's absolutely fine. Yeah, it was just one of them games where it got to a stage where do we take Holly off? Do we take Jodie off? Do we give Courtney a rest? Do we give Roachy a rest? It got a bit messy at the end, and with what happened with Holly, the doctor made the call.
Yeah.
Not so much, you know, just a bit precaution, really.
Yeah, I think you mentioned after the Brazil game that Tara would play at fullback at some point. Is that still the plan, or is it just to keep her at centre? Now she's played there 3 times.
Again, I don't know. You know, it's hard to change a winning formula.
Yeah.
At the moment, we've got a bit of a winning formula. Fran's fantastic at fullback. Tara's fantastic in the centres.
Yeah.
I actually quite like Tara with less pressure on her. You know, because she is the vice captain as well, but in the centres there's less pressure on her to bring the centres and the wingers into the game. So at the moment I like as it is, but you know, when we sleep on it and we get together, things could change.
Yeah, I think that's 6 tries in 3 games for Tara now at centre, so that's not bad ratio going forward.
Yeah, it speaks for itself. You know, we take the pelters, but at the end of the day, she scored 6 tries. She's playing really well. She's defending really well, just like everybody is. So I definitely won't be panicked into making changes to please other people.
Jodie, how different is the squad and the ability in this squad compared with, you know, where you were at the semi-final stage 4 or 5 years ago?
It's such a different squad, and I'm not going to be disrespectful to the team we had then, because you know, I think the resource and where the game's at is completely different. So the, you know, the preparation we had going into that World Cup is a million miles away from what we've had as a squad. I look at this squad now and I just think we are a bunch of athletes who are also really good rugby league players, and we've probably not had that combination before where we've had real athletes who can also shift a ball and play rugby league really well. And I don't even think it's just the rugby league on the field. We've mentioned it in camp loads of times, and every single player, whether they've been in the squad years like myself and Rudgy and Amy, or newer players into the squad, have said how close and tight-knit we are. There isn't one person that's on the fringes of this squad. We are a family unit now, and camp's been brilliant, and that's all part of what we're doing on the field as well, is because we're out there digging in, not just for Craig, not just for the badge, but for each other, because, you know, we know how hard we've worked together, and I do think this is a top quality squad that can really go all the way, and I've got loads of confidence for the semi-final.
Do you think you got more confidence and kind of belief as a squad than you maybe had looking back now at 2017? Do you really believe you could match those teams then, and is that different now?
Possibly. What's hard for us is we don't get to test ourselves against the likes of Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea that often, so you can compare yourself where you think you're at compared to the last time you played them, and then you don't know. 2017 was one of those. We hadn't played Australia or New Zealand since 2013, the previous World Cup, so we're marking ourselves against where they were in 2013, and they got a lot better than what we anticipated. So I wouldn't say we went into that tournament thinking we couldn't win. We just probably underestimated how good they'd got. This tournament, I think we're better prepared. We understand where they're at more. The game's got more profile. We get more ability to see what's going on over there as well, even if we don't get to necessarily play against them that regular. So I just think we're full of confidence. Like Craig said, we're focusing on ourselves, and we know we can put a performance in against any team, so we just have to be at our best on the day, and I genuinely believe we can beat anyone.
I don't know how much you saw of the Brazil and Canada game, but as ambassadors for women's sport, did that gladden your heart and justify this tournament?
Yeah, I only I only saw the back end of the game, and I was willing them to draw. I thought a draw would have been perfect because they're absolutely fantastic. They both bring something different to the World Cup, and you know, as a kid who thought it was half decent at football, probably wasn't, by the way. Coaching against Brazil was just amazing. But they bring something different to the tournament, and you know, I wish them all the best. But a draw would have been nice, and obviously Canada wouldn't agree with me, but a draw would have been great.